We are here to honor Juan Rodriguez Cabrillo, the founder of California's West Coast and the founder of the great San Diego Natural Harbor that we're looking at here. This is the entrance to San Diego Harbor. Uncle Mark should know because he came in and out of this same harbor entrance many times on different destroyers, even once on a Carnival cruise line. It's a beautiful natural harbor. We can only imagine what Cabrillo and his men were thinking as they entered this pristine bay, the beautiful city that we call San Diego. Juan Rodriguez Cabrillo was a conquistador, a literate man. He was a wealthy landowner, miner, shipbuilder, and merchant. But most important, Cabrillo led the first European expedition to sail along and explore the west coast of what would later become the United States of America. Cabrillo sailed from what is the present-day west side of Mexico, sailed north along California, and discovered and mapped many miles of California, also discovering, of course, San Diego Harbor and San Diego Bay. He was searching for the fabled Northeast Passage, which at that time they thought there would be a river that, if only they could find where it started, that it would lead them all the way across the continent of America, all the way to the other side. It was the Northeast Passage. However, when they realized that this was not India, when they realized it was another continent, they became confused. The small galleon, the San Salvador, served as the flagship of Cabrillo's expedition. Built in Guatemala, she reflected the needs of these early explorers, the ability to carry cargo and crew for the voyage and to navigate in shallow coastal waters. Today, a replica of the San Salvador is being made in San Diego, and soon, within less than 5 years, we're going to be able to sail on it. Public citizens will be able to go out on this boat. The boat was only, or ship, whatever you want to call it, was only 100 feet in length and 25 feet wide. Very small. Very small. We're here today in San Diego Harbor at the San Salvador building site. They're building the San Salvador. It's going to be launched in less than a year, and the public is actually going to be able to go on sailboats rides on this in and out of San Diego Harbor. So they will actually be able to experience the founding of the San Diego Harbor. Here at this wonderful museum, we're learning a lot of things about life at sea in the 16th century. It was hard. It was very hard. The social standing of Spanish mariners was not high. Their wages roughly equivalent to contemporary urban day laborers. And they had to deal with bed bugs, lice, and rats. Oh my God. In addition to the standard run of diseases, mariners confronted their own horrific risks. Scurvy. Oh my God, life at sea on extended voyages was generally dangerous, wet, cold, and uncomfortable. That was back in the times, people, when men were made out of steel and ships were made out of wood. Uncle Mark, fortunately, had his experience a little bit later. Wasn't quite this bad, but it was dangerous. There's always danger when you're out there in the high seas, baby. Shit happens. In 1542, Spanish conquistador Juan Rodriguez Cabrillo sailed up the uncharted coast of California in search of treasure and passage to the Atlantic. He was looking for the Northeast Passage, the passage that would connect into the Hudson Bay that they thought was just going to be an easy way to get across the country. But it didn't happen that way because it wasn't in the geography, folks. It just wasn't happening. But they did find San Diego Harbor. This great ship, the San Salvador, that we're looking at is soon going to be on the ocean for other individuals to be able to sail on. The journey unfortunately yielded neither discovery nor treasure, and Cabrillo died a year later of an injury that he suffered, which is tragic. It is really tragic, but I thought we should bring that out. This type of wood that we see here on the San Salvador is so scarce. It is so scarce that the builders of the San Salvador had to go to 3 different continents to find this wood. I thought they would just go to Home Depot like Uncle Mark usually does, but no, they didn't have this kind of wood. So they had to scour the world to come up with the San Salvador. In the 16th century, seafarers wore helmets like this. I'm not sure why. They were heavy, they were bulky, they were awkward, but maybe they would stop a bullet if they had bullets. But they'd probably stop an arrow. Maybe. Who knows? But fortunately, it didn't happen. But Uncle Mark does rock in different centuries at unclemarkrocks.com, baby. This search drives us to find answers to the unknown, such as when the great Cabrillo searched up and down the California coastline, finally after 121 days, finding the beautiful San Diego Harbor, the exquisite harbor, one of the pure jewels of the San Diego coast, and one of the only 2 harbors, natural harbors, San Diego Harbor and San Francisco Harbor, these harbors have enabled these 2 cities to grow and to become very prosperous. Juan Rodriguez Cabrillo is as mysterious as the waters he explored. While much is unknown, we are certain about this. Cabrillo was the first European to set foot on the west coast of what is now the United States. His expedition brought Spain's first great era of exploration to a close. San Diego Harbor, a natural harbor with an entrance this large, which could accommodate ships of a very large size at a very early time. Eventually it's been dredged to be able to accommodate aircraft carriers as well as all other types of pleasure vessels, such as Carnival Cruise Lines. Thank you, Cabrillo. Thank you for finding San Diego. Thank you from the bottom of all of our hearts. Currently, San Diego is rebuilding this ship. Ordinary citizens will be able to again sail the ocean and experience the thrill of seeing the San Diego harbor for the first time through the eyes of one standing on the deck of the San Salvador.